everybody, and welcome to this episode of Stonewalkers, presented by iCast Fireball. I am Thomas, your GM for this Cosmere RPG adventure, and joining me at the table we have...
Ned, playing Aldevar Walde.
Christian, playing Drynin.
I'm Mickey, and I play Reshonai.
And I'm Joshua, and I play Janar.
If this is your first time joining us, hi! We are iCast Fireball, an actual play TTRPG podcast where we typically play through 5e D&D published adventures, and our audio-only podcast is published weekly where we have over 4 years of episodes ready for your listening pleasure. This is our ongoing actual play Cosmere adventure where we jump into the worlds of Brandon Sanderson and play the official adventure Stonewalkers, created and published by Brotherwise Games. This adventure takes place in the Stormlight Archive book series in the land of Roshar, and it should be said that this actual play will have major spoilers for the book series, and if you don't want to be spoiled, go read the first 2 books of the series and then follow along for this adventure up to this point. But if you don't mind spoilers, pull up a chair, come around the fire, have a bowl of stew. You won't get that reference because you haven't read the books, but you'll be like our cast member Ned, who is jumping into this adventure almost completely blind when it comes to Roshar, and as such, we all will be exploring the land of Roshar again through new eyes alongside him. And then lastly, as a general disclaimer, when it comes to the Stormlight Archive timeline and the canon found in books, we are going to do everything we can to honor that as best as we can, but this is an ongoing TTRPG, and as a result, there may be some discrepancies between what you read in the books and what you actually see acted out here in the game sessions, but we will do everything we can and ask for a little grace to help us as we get it all going. But with no other announcements, let's jump into this week's episode of Stonewalkers. Our 4 adventurers and Tazo, on a quest with a goal to go find and send aid back to the caravan that they left behind, have made it to the Covenant Stone Crossroads. Tazo breathing a sigh of relief with his broken arm, which Aldevar was helping mend throughout the journey, the 2-day journey back. They have made it just in time, hours before a Highstorm approaches. The Covenant Stone Crossroads being a familiar and very common place for caravans to be sheltered from a Highstorm, as this massive 500-foot tall cliffside is protecting them from the brunt of the Highstorm, and that its length being 1,000 feet wide, long, if you will, it is a great location for a good many caravans to still have security, privacy, but also, as Reshonai discovered in our last episode, not just a place of security and safety for caravans, but also one where oaths and treaties and envoys are sent to maybe have a neutral ground here among a variety of nations. Approaching the Kolin camp caravan up north, we find that our adventurers were beset upon by a person in charge, a Sergeant Light Eyes named Ellar, who with a gruff voice and curt words sent them off on their particular tasks to prove their worth, to spend the Highstorm in shelter with their caravan over the merchants southward. And as everyone broke out to their expertises, whether it be surgery or hammer, which I love that expertise, we've got a variety of information that we've been able to pick up on. Some of it being on the secrecy of this locked caravan here. The rumors or the gossip being talked about of the Alethi Kolinj soldiers, and then finally this crazy individual claiming to be the Herald of War, Talm. Now, with the unsuccessful role of Reshonai picking and stealing some of these patches from the Kolin uniforms, Ellar comes over, and with a successful intimidation check by Janar, Ellar has turned his anger towards another, I'll say helpless individual, the person in the cage tied up. And that is where we jump into this week's episode of The Stonewalkers. Before we jump into anything further, however, I just want to show you, I found this in the adventure, the book, and I wanted to give you a better visualization for the listeners, the viewers, and for the players of where the Covenant Stone Crossroads might look like in your current setup. So, Ned, here you are.
Ooh.
We can zoom in on that. You can click, there you go, click on it to zoom in.
Look at that.
You can see the imposing rock face here being an aid to you as the dark clouds are swirling in the east, slowly coming towards your current location. Not quite upon you. No sense of urgency to run inside to a caravan, but this is typical weather patterns for a high storm to come within the next 30 minutes to hour. And you see the Kolin guards the caravan on the north
Trolls are
side.
so big.
The cliffside. You said those are so big. The cliffside.
Trolls.
The
Chols. They are ginormous. You can see the Chols in the back with their carapace rock that they retreat into. And as they are so big, they are so slow as well. But yes, just a visualization I thought helped set the scene better as LR besets upon Talon's, or rather this crazy person's cage. Tazo, something that is interesting at this point, which you haven't noticed up to this point, LR is approaching this wagon, and Janar, you didn't notice it before, but Tazo has been staring in wonder at this wagon in particular, with barred windows, an Osprey, a very rare spren to burst out. I've got the descriptions of what Osprey do. They are... What do they look like?
Is the halo? Is that the...
It's a blue ring of smoke
the
that
blue ring of
bursts above
smoke.
the head.
It's
Thank
the
you, the
Tim
blue-
and Eric exploding mind gift.
That's exactly what it is. Yes. A very rare type of spren, and it is this blue ring of smoke that bursts out above him. It really is the meme. Spreading like a ripple from a stone dropped in the pond. You see this Osprey break out, which is a bit unusual, and he eyes the prisoner inside, and Tazo tentatively holds his hands up to the bars. And it's at this point that LR, seeing this and having shifted his focus over to this, he cuts over the wind and he goes, "Move back, stranger!" And as he steps forward, he shoves Tazo back. And he goes, "This prisoner is a delusional fool, blasphemer, and spends all day muttering about being some great herald." And the sergeant shakes his head in contempt, then shouts into the wagon, berating this caged individual. And he goes, "Can you save us from the storm, O mighty herald? Or just sit there talking to yourself?" And he spits in between the bars before kicking the wheel, not letting up on the berating words at this time.
I think seeing all of this hubbub going on, I'm gonna kind of like come rushing up. I'm terribly sorry, Ella, but you've been sold some snake oil along the way. And I hold up one of just like the perfumed bottles of water.
Okay. Pulling his focus away from berating this helpless man, right?
Mm-hmm. But I also like now looking at this guy, I think the wheels are starting to turn in my mind of like, I'll need to come, like after I'm done dealing with LR, I should come and take a closer look at this dude and see if I can figure out what's going on.
Sure, absolutely. Let's have you do a... Let's see, I'm trying to... Leadership is a new skill in the Cosmere RPG, and so I'm looking at when leadership would be beneficial as opposed to persuasion, so that we actually can head a nice rounded. Leadership represents your ability to inspire people, draw attention, and command allies. Okay, you can also use...
Challenging an enemy to a one-on-one.
All right, yeah. Yeah. Okay, asking a companion for help, calling to cover your advance. I will say in this instance with drawing his attention away from town, Aldevar, I'll say a persuasion check is what I feel would be appropriate in this specific instance with your intent that you may roll.
Well, that's a natural one.
Oh, no.
This is what happens when I try to use my presence.
Oh, no.
It's the complication. It came back from the last episode.
And with a natural
He
one.
opens up the
Him
bar and
yelling at
starts
this
beating
guy.
this guy.
This is a complication. Every time a natural one is introduced, a complication must occur.
Another complication on top of a complication.
That I throw in. Well, I will say, just for our players here, the complication was shifting the focus away and now going to this helpless man. That was the complication from before. So now we have another complication on top.
Trying to shift the focus away from this.
And he comes up to you, Aldevar, and says, I don't have time for Snake Oil right now. You see that? As he points eastward to the growing clouds, the lightning crackling in the far distance. You hear the thunder come sometime afterwards, rolling over these stones. And he goes, we don't have time to talk about this. You're taking me away from my duties. Or do you want to be left out in the Highstorm itself?
Oh, you are so correct. That storm incoming. I'm so looking forward to hunkering down, me and my nice bottle of sapphire wine that I purchased as part of my gear. Pull out my nice bottle and just kind of flash it. Ah, yes, so delicious. According to the book, nutty with notes of honey made from fermented lavis grain.
Janar's going to look in the direction that Aldevar is looking and be like, who are you talking to when you say that? You keep nodding at the camera.
Oh, it's an Asish thing you wouldn't understand.
It's an Asish thing. The Asish break the fourth wall.
I love it. That's canon. I don't care. That's canon right now,
If you
folks.
file the proper paperwork, the Aces can do anything.
Absolutely could break the fourth wall and be totally legal.
If you file the proper paperwork. That's so good.
Oh, Ned, that was good. That's an inspiration die to you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey,
honestly, I'm not
legit
sure
one.
if inspiration technically exists in this game, but I won't refute it if we want to homebrew it in.
Take what the GM
it's
gives
inspiration for your D&D game, the other game that we're playing.
Oh,
yeah.
Sweet. I'll mark that down on
Platform.
Chozo's character sheet real quick.
Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh.
It carries over.
But yes, as you bring up the wine here, which has been fermented from lavis seeds. At this time, Janar, Reshonai, and I'll say even Drynin, you can hear that this commotion is big enough. And Drynin, you haven't done, like I say, you finished your task and you've been coming towards the local fire here. So all of you are nearby and you can hear this happening, of course. But with this gift, I will say, I don't want to do another roll per se right now because we did have that complication, right? And so to honor that, he is not immediately dismissive as you're like, oh, look at this wine. We could have it. We could drink it. I will say that is tempered the worst of the complication. It hasn't persuaded him to stop or like move him away from the current his current mindset, but you have reduced that complication of possibly having to go to the merchant's caravan wagon to being like of like all right, I'm tempered a little towards you right now, but I'm just he speaks up and he goes, I'm just sick of this just this dead weight that I'm all for one of a following duty, but blasphemy is where I draw the line, as he points towards the individual in the caravan, in the caged wagon.
Yeah, you know what? I think just to kind of keep going further, I say, I can tell you've had a terribly stressful day. I'm going to pull out one of my empty creme bottles that I bought with my marks during character creation, and I'm just going to preemptively pour some of the wine into that bottle, stopper it up, and hand it over to him.
All right. With this, I will say, appealing to his like ego, and you've had such a rough day. You've had like such a really like difficult time with this, and proffering that over to him. I'll say, for this, Aldevar, you're in the right direction. You're absolutely seeing that it's working here. It's close to, I don't know, I'm trying something new right here. It's close to a skill check here, but I'm encouraging you to maybe go a little forward about like what else would Aldevar do to like, and I'm not saying gifts, obviously, like throw everything at him, but like what would be the next step that Aldevar takes here, seeing that he might be reacting positively to this.
Yeah, I think as I'm handing it over, say, being placed in a position of leadership, I have not experienced it myself. I am not quite so lofty as to be able to step in and lead others, but I think it's admirable that you've taken this duty upon yourself, and I think that deserves to be recognized.
All right. Do you have anything in persuasion, Aldevar?
I've got 2 in persuasion.
Whoa. Oh, sorry. Leadership is what I meant to say. I'm sorry. Just kind of
I've
feeling
got
out
2 in
character sheets.
leadership.
All right. I actually am gonna. With that. I would like to call for a leadership test here of it's just asking or really appealing here. The skill check in the book does call for leadership, and so again, we're still playing around what's leadership, what's persuasion. Let's try leadership here and see if narratively something comes new of that.
All right. That's a 10. Is this an advantage use? You know what? Burn if you got it. Okay, 10. 10
What
is
do you
my
burn?
result.
What did you burn?
His advantage that I gave him, his inspiration.
Oh,
die.
I see.
Yes. Yeah. With a 10, he takes the wine a little bit without realizing he's taking it. And then you say that to him and he goes, it's just he's a fraud. He's an absolute fraud. And sees the wine's in his hands and he's like, well, don't let me hear you muttering during the Highstorm, okay? And he just sort of storms off and starts to sip on the wine as he walks away, leaving Talon without further further damage verbally here, and having sent LR away. That was a success. So
yeah, and I think
done.
back to the conversations I overheard about Dalinar being like, yeah, put this guy, have him pretend he's in charge. And I look up at Talon and I just kind of mutter, frauds indeed. And then I'll rejoin with the rest of my compatriots.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing that, Aldevar.
As you see LR walk away, Drynin, you notice in particular that guard that had the commanding presence, he intercepts LR, grabs him by the shoulder, and just whispers something to him, and gestures towards one of the wagons, and LR slowly walks towards one of the wagons and shuts the door behind him. And then he comes over to you around the cage of Talon and the fireplace, and he looks to you, Aldevar, and extends a hand towards you. Thanks for that. It's been a long few days, but that's no excuse for his type of behavior.
Would you like some wine as well? It's been a rough day for everybody.
I'm on duty later after the Highstorm, so I politely decline. But I do appreciate you wishing and wanting to loosen up the spirits around here and relieve some of that stress. And you're a companion of Drynin here, aye?
Oh, aye, indeed. And these are my friends Reshonai and Janar Balar.
Mm-hmm.
Is this guy a light ice?
No, he is a dark ice here.
Did you? Are you in charge of Ilar?
I think we're all doing what we can to get back home to the Shattered Plains here and fulfill our mission. So when I see one of my allies and heat it up for no reason, and I see what we can do to help bring him down back to Earth here instead of riding the winds.
This
Can I insight on this guy?
You may insight on him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, Janar is not he's not part of the aristocracy, but he's a light eyes, and it's strange to see a dark-eyed soldier putting his hands on a light-eyed sergeant.
Yes, it is
15
odd.
insight?
Yes, you absolutely pick up everything Drynin had discovered previously,
Okay.
but you are picking up on it now, and you are like, you confirmed, and you are like, this person has to be in charge to be able to command.
He's in
Allred,
charge, but he
who's
doesn't want to say
a
he's in charge.
sergeant, and absolutely, and you're like, this is the real deal. This is the
I'll
guy.
let it be. I'm not going to push him.
He gestures to the three of you, excluding Reshonai, and just say, please, feel free to have a meal before. It seems this storm is fast approaching, so don't dally too long. We have some food as well for your parshwoman to be able to take part in as well. So, but I must excuse myself to help with final preparations. But and he points to one of the wagons just south, near where you kind of entered in, and you say that wagon is you're more than welcome to join the Colon soldiers in there. I've already we're all aware that you will be joining us for the Highstorm if that's your desire.
Certainly. Might I request your name, good sir?
Oh, it's Borden.
Ah, very good.
But with that, thank you. And he excuses himself and leaves.
And like as soon as he's out of earshot, I kind of like bring everybody in close and say, okay, I was listening to some of the people. That man, Borden, is acting under the command of Dalinar Kholin.
The High Prince.
Whoa. We were thinking about stealing some patches.
That's a really bad idea.
Yeah, oh yes, terrible. Bad idea, in fact, is what it is.
Resh and I just starts like humming this really low rhythm to herself.
I just start pouring out wine for everybody as we debrief. Everybody sharing the information that we've gotten.
And there is enough hustle and bustle to where the soldiers are not going to join you around the fire. And so you do have some privacy here, including Tazo, around the fire here to share information.
I'm kind of worried that these people aren't going to be able to help us.
They seem to have something very important in that one wagon up to the north. Where Borden was it? Was his name Borden?
Borden, yes. Yeah. He was the one. Dalinar told Borden to choose somebody to act like they're in charge. Apparently he chose Elar. And none of the people, none of the lower crew members know what is in that wagon up there.
I might have an answer for what they could be carrying. As Tazo motions you to this fire to come closer, he actually gestures you to leave and says, over here, and to go to the cliff wall itself where there are glyphs on the side, and almost like paying a deference to the stone or the glyphs here as a cover, Tazo puts his hand on one of the burned glyphs, and you know this, Janar, to be the glyph of Taln, actually, Herald of War.
Okay.
What do you, as the wind picks up and he leans in close to each of you, what do you make of that Alethi man in the tied up in the cage?
The crazy guy?
He's got some nice muscles.
He is cultivated for certain. But
he could use a bath.
I fear, crazy though he may be, I think he may have some more truth than others give him credit. He looks around and glances to make sure no one else is listening, like unusually secretive. Like he even looks up the cliff wall and is like puts his hand on the stone behind him and just keeps it there. Listen, the artifact I seek is a weapon of the heralds.
I know it.
An honor blade, one they used to bring about the calm after the desolations and fight back the Voidbringers, to the abyss beyond. I know it seems impossible, but that man, as he points towards the cage, truly is a herald. The one known in the east. The one known in the east as Talanalat, the herald of war. With the mighty herald here, though, I believe his blade is not within the war camps like I previously thought. And his eyes and head just turn towards the locked wagon. But I believe in this very caravan.
I turn to Aldevar. How much wine did he drink?
Why, he has not touched his cup yet.
Reshonai quietly touches her hand to Janar's arm. And
What is it?
quietly, she's singing something under her breath. It is not the same thing as when she hums to rhythms or when she is speaking in a rhythm. You can see her quietly mouthing and singing something to herself, but she'll slowly nod as she's touching him. She's singing the Song of the Histories, which is something that she has learned since she was a child. She's not singing it out loud for everyone to hear, but she's right there with
Trying to affirm
Tazo?
that
Tazo.
what the Shin guy is saying is legit.
yeah, Tazo.
And I'm wondering, I have a history expertise. Could this give me the possibility to make a check that I might not otherwise be able to make if I didn't have that expertise?
Yes, having a history expertise absolutely will. I will go ahead and have you roll a history expertise here.
All right.
And let's see what information you can glean to either confirm or maybe that would be in addition to what Tazo is sharing with you.
Okay, it seems like lore to me, perhaps.
Yes.
All right. That is a 22.
Whoa!
This is why I do the
Alright.
stuff that uses the brain and not the speaking with people.
You're obviously familiar with the heralds, and that's why you and Janar were able to just talk and discuss things together. And you are recalling in history that where he says this artifact is an honor blade, clicks in your brain. You read somewhere that the Shin do have a unusual affinity towards the heralds, past even more than Vorinism, where Vorinism has lack of a better term, heralded their achievements and honored them with religious artifacts and worshipped them. The Shin have taken that reverence and that religious worship to a different degree of feeling like the Shin actually believe they are the warriors of the heralds themselves, and which is totally in direct contrast with everything you know about the Shin, because the Shin are peaceful, they are isolationists, they do not travel about. The Alethi are the warriors. They are the ones going about making sure all of Alethkar and the surrounding lands are safe, secure under their rule. But this is the information you have gleaned. And so when he says the honor blade, our religious artifact, is an honor blade of a herald itself, you're like, I mean, that tracks. That absolutely would make sense if it truly was. But it's up to you whether you truly can believe something so preposterous as that, as a herald, one gone for over thousands and thousands of years to be in front of you. Surely this, that couldn't be true, right?
Yeah, I think if I can get a chance to examine this man and see if okay, does he exhibit any signs of insanity or
right?
While we're still together, Janar, can we talk a little bit amidst our characters? Before we go off to do other things, I just want to, because after Reshonai confirms that what the Shin guy is saying is true, Janar is young enough and his mind is malleable enough that 2 points of confirmation is enough to get him to start to believe a thing like this.
Very impressionable.
And And with that, something sinks in his gut. And he looks at everybody and goes, if Reshonai, if that's actually if that's Telenel, that means we're in another we would have to be in another desolation, right? And he kind of looks at everybody, and Tazo a little bit
Reshonai's
like
eyes go from the ground up to meet Valar's eyes. Janar Valar.
Janar
And,
Valar.
Janar Valar. As
I just
Tazo,
like the rhythm of his name so much. I like forget which name is the real name.
there are
The
some people
rhythm-
you say their full names when you talk about them, and maybe that's Janar Valar.
That's
you know?
Janar Valar.
Yeah.
I am afraid that I might have to give you a third point of confirmation. I would be inclined to believe this man.
Janar sits down.
you sit against like a stone on the cliffside itself as Tazo looks to you and says, I fear that although desolations in past have occurred when the heralds have returned, I have not seen any Voidbringers. Have you?
I don't even know what I would look for in a Voidbringer. How fast does a desolation start? He was talking about getting ready for one, like in the cage. The things he's muttering is about preparing, and he talked about the other heralds.
He closes his eyes and he just like sighs to himself and goes, yes, I heard that as well. Reshonai, because you rolled in a previous session, you see him reach for that rock again and just hold it tight to his side as he like is holding onto it for comfort or for like confirmation almost. But he turns to the three of you and turns to Drynin and say, I apologize if I seem insane myself. All I know is to act with the facts that I am given, Drynin, and I truly believe this is Talanalal, and that the artifact I'm seeking is in that wagon over there.
I need to take a closer look at this guy. I'm going to, let my friends keep talking about their thing. I'm going to head back over and apply my surgeon's brain to the situation.
Excellent. Drynin, any response as Tazo is...
Janar would definitely look at Drynin and be like, "What do we do?"
Well, first, there's a high storm coming, probably about 10 minutes out now. You can hear the wind. So the first thing we do is go inside somewhere. The second thing we do, and I put a hand on Tazo's shoulder, we don't aggravate the entire Kholin troop that's surrounding us right now by saying we're gonna take whatever they've got in that northernmost carriage and taking it for ourselves. We're gonna make sure we don't say anything like that around them.
I agree.
The next thing we're gonna do is wait for
Yes.
the storm to pass.
The storm is impending. That is true. At this time, I'd like to cut towards Aldevar in his examination, if you can. Ned, I'm going to share a picture here on Roll20 as well.
Ooh, baby.
There we go.
Look at this guy.
This
He's a
art
dark
is
eyes.
just...
He's not a herald. The herald aren't dark-eyed.
This is a beautiful art from the Cosmere RPG. Well done to the team. If any of you are listening, I don't know if anybody's listening from Brotherwise or from Dragonsteel, but top-notch art. Good heavens. Yes, let's go ahead and have you examine this person and you can tell just generally all the things I described before, but he is a Dark Eyes. What things are you looking for at this moment, Aldevar? You are looking for insanity, is that right?
Yeah, I think I've dealt with, all kinds of various afflictions of the body and mind. I've learned to recognize, the way that you might be able to look at a limb and know what the physical ailment is. Try and minister to a mind diseased, as it were. See if I can find, does this match any of the stuff that I have studied before?
This would be a medicine check. Let's raise the stakes here.
Ooh, baby. Come on. Well, that is a 7 with nothing else.
Neutral roll.
Yep.
You are absolutely familiar with mental acuity, intelligence, right? And as you see, and I'll just say it flat, you see a diseased mind. You see one that is rote, that is that has grasped onto something but is like a broken record, which everybody would assume, but with your medical background, you're like, yeah, actually, this is a person troubled. This is a person that is who has latched onto either battle shock, where battle shock being they've seen some bad things in their life, or they are just unable to move on from a particular point and process something. As you are doing this, and this conversation with Tazo is continuing, you hear actually a commotion that draws all of your attention and the Kolin camp from up here, and is a teenage girl as she runs up screaming from the path that you had walked to get to the crossroads, Covenant Stone Crossroads. There we go. Thank you. And she's just yelling at the top of her lungs. As she's yelling, she's wildly what's this word? Gesticulating. There we go. Gesturing is the only thing that came to my mind, but gesticulating towards the road with purple fear spren gathering at her feet and her frantic voice. The wagon, it's stuck. It's stuck and Pa won't leave it. We need help, please. It's everything we have over there, please. And now the Alethi soldiers seem concerned, but after a glance up at the gathering storm, they shift in place, knowing that, as Drynin said, maybe only 10 minutes are before they get there, and they actually ignore the girl as she is gesturing to not only the Kolin camp, but the caravan, but also the merchant caravan. And there is a Thalen merchant from the south caravan who walks up at her, long eyebrows pulled backwards over her ears, and she's very fashionable, and she just yells to the Kolin soldiers and says, We cart your weapons and wine. Surely you can spare a few soldiers to help."
I'm gonna just immediately start sprinting.
Janar,
and I'm gonna say,
we'll look at Drynin, and if Drynin looks like he's ready to go, Janar will jump him. He's ready for a distraction from the impending fear of what the revelation of the Herald could mean.
And as I run through the camp, I'm going to slap a couple of the guys on the back who I've sort of befriended a little bit and be like, "Come on, it's a child!"
Kakert in particular, let's have you roll a leadership, actually.
Rock and roll.
Right.
That's a good call for that, yeah.
Can I assist him?
That's-
I'm helping. I'm like, the young, scrawny Taylor is running behind him. Would that cause anyone to be like, dude, if he's going to help the big guy?
It would cost a focus
I'll
to use.
I'll give the focus.
All
I
right.
think having help will be important.
All right. Costing focus, take that from your sheet, and rolling with advantage then, Drynin, for a leadership roll. And Ned, we can exit the town picture here on roll 20. But what
All
did we get,
right.
Drynin?
Even with the advantage, I got an 8.
8.
6
Okay,
plus
real
2.
Real quick, Christian.
Yeah.
1 second. Are you rolling a d20? Because I'm seeing some interesting stuff when you roll. I see that the 6 is in a green. Is that just saying that's the higher roll?
Would mean
it's
a
the higher
D6
roll,
wouldn't it? Yeah. Or
I think that might just be the higher of the two rolls on roll 20 here. So,
Yeah, that would make sense.
okay, sounds good. So
Because
even
the
with advantage,
one is in
my
red.
lower roll was a 3.
there we go. Okay. As you
hey,
roll,
dice tell their own story, gang.
as you roll
Yeah,
with
it sure does.
leadership, that's true. As you roll with leadership, the 8, Kakerd is, I'm sorry, I have to stay my post. If you're not back before the Highstorm is upon us, we'll come pull you out, all right? I
Just
took
keep a
Drynin's
space
accent right
dry
there
and-
when he's clearly a Lethe. I apologize.
Just keep a space dry and warm for us. We'll be back.
Reshonai, hand up.
As Drynin stands up and even Janar like raises to his feet, Reshonai looks to Tazo.
Mm-hmm.
What is Tazo doing in reaction to this sudden shift?
Yeah, Tazo is, give me a second. He does have it written down here. I just want to make sure.
He does have a broken arm, doesn't he?
He does.
That's not what Reshonai is worried about.
He is also running after. He does run after Drynin and
Okay.
Janar actually, and saying, "Reshonai, perhaps we should go. We should do what we can."
She'll slowly get to her feet and hurry as quickly as she can. Since she's in dull form, every part of her is muted. She can only move so fast. She can only think so fast. She can only speak so fast. And so
Gotcha.
she does move toward help, but it is much slower than everyone else.
And although Aldevar, you are away, you see the rest of your party run towards danger. If you choose to follow, it's very clear their intent and where they're going, which is up to you if you follow or not.
Yeah, I think I also am not very fast. I am somewhat deficient in strength and in speed. But I think I'm going to try and keep pace with Reshonai as we're running along. And
Hike your skirts and...
yeah. And like as we're going along kind of short on breath.
Yes.
I'll like turn towards Reshonai as we're running along and
That's what I'll say.
I'll just say, friend Reshonai, you seem to believe Tazo's words that this is in fact a herald?
She will speak to the rhythm of worry. Not that he knows that, but it's this anxiety-ridden rhythm of, we have songs that speak of Tonglano, and I hope this is not him.
I take that in and I think to myself, okay, he is troubled, but that does not necessarily mean that he is wrong. And I just kind of start muttering to myself, this man must be healed. And keep going, and that's when I run out of breath to speak, and I just go.
A little down the western path, a wagon and Chol are stuck in the muck. The crab-like Chol waves its legs uselessly, having fallen at an awkward angle into a large puddle of wet creme, which I will show now.
Oh yeah, show us that creme. So
The
excited.
creme.
The good
creme.
creme.
The good creme.
Oh man, I love that Chol. He got a nice rug on him.
As they are, here we go. As the wind picks up, a balding, red-haired Vaden man strains with all his might while tugging on the rope attached to the beast. He goes, "Come on, we got to get going. Come on now." You all, Drynin and Janar, you are first to approach.
Just get right into helping. Janar's just gonna start trying to help.
Great. Let's put Drynin on the board here.
Did the previous scene end?
The previous scene did. It was ending. I apologize, Drynin. I told you I was going to...
That's all good.
Let's bank it for the next scene. That was my bad. I
Well,
didn't
you
want
could
to
use
lose
it
that
to
benefit,
regain
so-
focus if you didn't have full focus.
Oh, I got full. I'm all
Okay.
kinds of focus.
I guess that is a quick
I'm
point of
super
order.
focused.
We haven't specifically said, but I'm assuming it was a 2-day journey. We've probably had a long rest by this point.
Yes. I assume everybody was full up before getting to the Covenant Stone Crossroads. I remembered the name.
Cool.
Covenant Stone Crossroads for sure. So
Okay, follow up.
So I think only Janar has
spent
used
two
two of
focus.
his
Yeah,
focus. That's all that's been expended. Christian, that was my bad. Let's have it bleed into this shorter scene right here that you can then use. So I apologize about that.
Gotcha. Would I be able to... We're not in combat, but
We're not.
could I enter a stance?
There is a specific ability on your tree which allows you to enter a stance outside of combat to get some benefits. Let's see which
didn't
one.
realize that.
I believe I remember reading up on it after you told me your path. Let's quickly take a look at this. Where is the warrior path? Those are the Radiants, Scholar, Leader. Oh, Warriors down here. Great. Okay, here we go. This should be under the Duelist, under the Practiced Kata ability. You can now use stances in conversations and endeavors. And unless you're surprised, you can start each scene in Vigilant Stance. You can spend one focus to enter a stance mid-conversation or mid-endeavor. So, good instinct here. Do you have the Practice Kata ability yet?
I do not. I have Vigilant Stance and Stone Stance.
Great. So something that maybe on the next level up you might consider then, if you do want, and this would be from the Duelist tree here. But good questions there. So you can't enter a stance outside of combat yet. It's something you're working on.
Then I just want to... I don't know that we can get the beast out of here. Can we unhook it?
You mean leave the Chol?
Get the Chol out and then we can move the cart.
And Rebin, he says, I won't be leaving my Chol here, or my wagon. This is all of my earthly belongings here, and I can't lose it. Highstorm.
All right, I'm going to just try to help the... So we've got 2 Vadens and or 1 Vaden and a couple of...
What are the long eyebrowed people? Is that Vaden?
Thalen.
Thalen.
So this one, his name is Rebin. This is the Vaden man who's trying to get the Chol out. This is the girl that ran in. Her name is Hannah, and she is a Thalen girl asking for help to get Rebin out. And she's like talking to the Chol, and she says, come on, let's get out of this. Come on, you can do it.
Then yeah, I'm just going to start pulling.
All
yeah,
right.
there is a shove action. I don't know if that's what we would use for this.
Let's go ahead and, since we're not in combat here, but you want to flip the Chol or to like brute force this, or maybe like cleverly engineer a way out of this. Like those are like just some like general options that you might consider when trying to get this unstuck, Drynin.
I'm all brute force. I'm shoving.
Brute force. Okay. Before we
Janar
roll,
has no
Reshonai,
ideas.
did you have something?
I don't know if it's a good question to ask right now. Most traveling carts on Roshar have the ability to bunker down for a high storm. We're assuming that this cannot do that since they are trying to get it out. Yes?
They absolutely cannot afford to be bunkered down in the completely exposed landscape here. This is a very nice,
Not them
opulent
bunker
caravan.
in it. Can the caravan be closed up? Is what I
would
was asking.
imagine.
But I assume
would imagine
not because
that like
of the encounter.
part of the reason that the Covenant Crossroads Stone is there is because some carts. I imagine, like, even a cart could get tussled in the high storm to some degree.
And you do pick up on that, Reshonai, as you come up, and their urgency here is like they need to get to the Covenant Stone Crossroads to do a few lashings here and there to not be completely swept away by this open expanse that they just don't have any protection from the Highstorm right here, as they are a small distance away from the Covenant Stone Crossroads. So they would get the full brunt of the Highstorm here. So they just need to get unstuck and moved closer to the cliffside here. Drynin, you would like to just, let's do it, athletics. You can, let's see, you want to just pull the wagon with the rope and just try to get it unstuck from the Krem and start moving towards the Covenant Stone Crossroads then?
That's the hope.
All right, let's go ahead and have you roll an athletics check. It's a DC 18.
Gotcha. Do you want me to raise the stakes?
Yes, this is absolutely a moment to raise the stakes here.
Now, one thing I have found real quick in the book, helping outside combat, which was a question that we had during our last session.
We did it!
Yes, outside combat, whoever is leading the group effort makes one test, and they gain one advantage for each character helping them.
Ooh.
Oh!
Well, I'm helping for sure.
There we go. All right. So, now this is you're helping, and just at this time, Reshonai and Aldevar, you also could be here and help. Real quick, Janar, do you have any skills in athletics?
Yeah, I'm super skilled in athletics.
You are? Okay, cool.
Well, I mean, I have a plus
Like,
3
do you have
just
a
because
point?
I have
Okay.
strength. But no, I have 2 in light weaponry. That's my big physical ability. But
So you don't have any skills assigned
not like
towards
dots, not like special
athletics.
dots.
Right,
Just a plus 3.
great. Reshonai, do you have any dots assigned in athletics itself?
I do not.
Okay, sounds good. We will do one advantage here. And Aldevar, I know you don't
Nope.
have any in athletics,
No.
so I didn't ask. But let's have a one advantage go. Well, I'd like to have this. That might
Reshonai
be unfair.
is strong enough
Yeah.
in dull
yeah.
form to try to help.
Yeah.
I have
Okay,
a plus
that's
2.
fair. Let's have 2 advantages for this roll then that you can use.
So does that mean you
this-
would apply
all
one
right.
to the D20
So-
and one to the...
the plot die?
Oh, that's right, because
net-
it's raising the stakes.
Yes.
There we go.
Exactly,
Because you can
'cause we're
only
raising the
apply
stakes.
an advantage to one advantage per die, but you've got 2 dice that we're rolling with here.
Correct. Absolutely.
So in total, a 15.
15 with an opportunity that you rolled
Yes.
here on roll 20. Nice.
Yes,
So,
So I would like to use that hopefully to maybe in conjunction with the one that bled over from the previous scene,
yes.
with the full help of the team here. We're all pushing, we're all pulling, to just, I mean, you said it was a DC 18 though?
It was 18.
Could you clue
Okay,
in on
so-
something with the chol though, like some kind of animal feature to like get it to?
Yeah, I've been
Oh,
working
'cause
with
he has animal
Yeah.
like
knowledge.
horses and chols. I started working with chols, then I moved on to horses.
Yep.
But I've been around these things my whole life, and I can affect the narrative. You said right to a degree.
Yes, and you can ask for assistance, be like, how should I affect this, guys? And as long as I approve it, we can roll with it. Or I might propose an alternative, being like, well, what if it were this, and things like that.
For sure. Could I have noted that in the struggle, one of its legs, the carapace, cracked as it struggled up against a rock or something, and that's the reason it can't move. It's one of its back legs, the carapace is cracked, and it's not able to put pressure on that. So if we can alleviate that pain or do something, we might be able to get it out of here.
If we had a surgeon, a medic on hand.
Yeah, hey, there we go. I like that narrative. I really like that opportunity being like, hey, this is one of the reasons they're stuck in the Krem, but they can't get out due to this leg being hurt. This does still count as a failure, I'll say, but if you can get 3 successes before 3 failures in this, what we're calling an endeavor, which is a type of encounter here in the Cosmere RPG, then we can get this out no problem. So that's your first failure for this, but that's everybody helping, pushing. And we have the Rebin just saying, "Come on, we can do it!" As he's just like just almost uselessly just whipping the troll, and the troll just trying, but is not able to. Let's Drynin, you kind of led that and have now introduced more elements here. From the rest of the party here, what's something that somebody would like to try? It seemed to feed beautifully into Aldevar, maybe healing that leg, but is there something that we'd like to try first?
No? Okay, cool. I will.
All right, let's do
go
it.
right to Aldevar. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
Let's relieve some pain on this here chill.
All right, let's do a medicine check then.
All right. This seems like a pretty crucial kind of moment. Would it be out of place for me to ask for maybe some help from somebody who has an opportunity?
I noted it, and I am familiar with animals more than I am with humans, but so I'd like to be able to help.
Yes, I would say advantage for this role would absolutely be in line with kind of what's happening story-wise.
Okay.
So getting advantage from Drynin.
All right. That is a 15.
15. Okay. Well, as you are looking at this leg, it is a bit stuck, and it might be bruised. And Drynin's like, it's almost like Aldevar. You're like, hey, this is what I'm seeing, and Drynin's like, oh, yep, that means this, and you're like able to make the equivalence in your brain of like, okay, if that means this, then this is the thing we should be doing. And with a 15, that is a success to be able to heal the leg to help pull itself out of the creme pit here. One success, one failure. Excellent. Only a few minutes have passed here. I'd say barely a minute has passed as you've been like, and just working together in this endeavor here. Time is going to be a little loosey-goosey here, don't worry. But that's one success, one failure.
Is the cart in good shape?
Excellent. So you're looking at the cart. Yes, the cart is in great shape. It's stuck in the muck a little bit of the creme as well, and it seems to be burdened down with a weight that is causing it to just be stuck and sink in.
Ooh. Could we take stuff out of the cart?
Janar, as you go to the back and you throw it open, there are casks of wine in here that are just filled with liquid that are making it very difficult for it to move forward with this creme pit right here.
Yeah, gang, there's a bunch of heavy stuff in this cart. Maybe if we take some of that, it'll make it easier to get the whole cart out of the mud. And I'll start just pulling heavy stuff out. And
absolutely.
If it doesn't seem important, I'm just gonna set it on the ground. But if it seems important, we can carry it.
Yeah.
Well, then we can put it back in as soon as the wagon's out of the pit.
Yeah, it's just this creme pit is all. So if you can get it out to alleviate some of that weight.
Hurriedly unloading. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. With that, let's go ahead and have you hurriedly unload. And then after, it only takes you with the four of you and with the little girl helping with some of the bits and bobs. Janar, I'll have you make an athletics check to try to like push and like maneuver it as well to get out of this.
Can I assume I'm being like, is Reshonai helping me, or is anybody back here helping unload stuff?
Yeah.
I like to think I'm trying to help.
Or this gal, you said the young lady was helping us. Would that be considered a?
Yeah, this is where I'm curious about these rules of people assisting, because obviously if everybody's there and always helping with every single skill, advantage is always going to be had, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm curious where the line might be drawn here for outside of battle.
What's the problem?
Fair.
What's the problem?
Yeah, here's some expounding from the book. The GM may ask you to describe exactly how you're contributing to a test. Characters can only help with tests they could reasonably complete themselves.
Okay. Well, everybody could reasonably pick stuff up. Reshonai, Drynin, and Janar are pretty strong. I'll say Aldevar is the one that doesn't have strength, but you have enough people here to be able to do that with advantage. So I don't see anything wrong if that's the description. So yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Not raising the stakes yet, but athletics with advantage. The
Did I
DC
do
for this is
advantage?
only
Doesn't look
that
like it.
was that's not advantage. That was just one roll that you
Okay,
got,
I'll
which was a
reroll.
10. The second roll here, which all you need is a 13.
An 11.
You got an 11
Yeah,
on roll
got
20.
an
A
11.
10.
I rolled a 7 the first time and an 8 the second time.
Reshonai, yes?
As we've been unloading and trying to keep it, trying to lighten the load and take off the stuff, that 11 is just that Highstorm is coming in. How successful does it seem like Drynin and
Aldevar.
Aldevar,
Aldevar.
thank you. I just didn't have my roll 20 pulled all the way up. Drynin and Aldevar to get the Chol in a way that it's going to move. Does it seem like that is working, or like that's going to be a slow process?
Yeah, no, it absolutely seems like it is very possible to get the Chol out as this. It's mended. It's very possible to get the Chol out with either maybe a little bit of pushing and helping of maybe like alleviating that leg from too much weight being on it, and like assisting with either athletics or some sort of survival skill to maybe like help it flip itself back out now that it is mended. Those types of things absolutely can happen. There's also some, maybe if we had some clever engineering, that might be something that we could introduce here for this endeavor as well, to almost like not a pulley system, but like a lever, or like to get some sort of leverage, things like that to be able to help out.
That feels like that's going to take way too much time.
Time is a
That feels
little
like that's gonna
loosey-goosey
work
in this
way
endeavor.
too much
We have
time.
2 failures and only 1 success thus far.
I know.
Mhm.
So like
and that
one more
feels like
failure
it's
and we
taken
fail.
way too
Yeah.
much time.
Mhm.
With the success on the leg, though,
Did that
has
reduce the number?
Yeah, has it?
has that changed the DC of pulling it forward?
Yeah, it absolutely has modified the DC appropriately as the leg is now. And Mickey, I understand you're worried about the Highstorm coming in. The Highstorm, you won't be in any immediate danger from the Highstorm while this endeavor is still is
That's not
going
a
on.
not a player thing. That's a
Reshonai's
Reshonai
just
thing.
okay.
That is a
Gotcha.
That Highstorm is coming in.
Mhm. Great.
Is our Vaden friend atop the Chol, or is he on the ground?
He kind of goes back and forth between the wagon and being atop the Chol. Being atop the Chol is how he's like trying to direct it and move it and like drive it. And then he goes back to the wagon to try to do something, and then he goes back to the top of the Chol as well. So
This guy is panicking.
he is very panicking.
Here's something I will propose. Can
Yes.
I deduce what the best path out of the creme puddle would be? Like what part of the ground is most stable?
Okay.
Little deduction to try and
okay.
figure that out.
Okay.
What were you gonna say, Mickey?
I want like one more attempt to do something, and then Reshonai is gonna do something.
Oh,
That
something
will
drastic.
Be a very physical
Okay.
thing of
Okay.
picking up that Vaden man and just running, like
Gotcha.
getting out
Leave the
of
car to save the
there.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So I don't have
yeah.
I don't have something to get the card out. Reshonai is now like, if this last thing doesn't work, she's going to start physically assaulting this man
Yeah.
and trying
That's
to work on him getting physically out of there.
Yeah, so fair point. And for Aldevar, just wondering, like, can I deduce the best way forward? Can I use logic? Can I use reason to get some evidence? Absolutely, you may do some deduction here. I'd even allow a survival skill to be used if you would like.
I
but
would
I know
prefer
your
to
intellect
use
is higher.
deduction.
Yeah, I assumed.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll.
If you're offering.
Well, that is a 9.
9. Ooh,
3 failures.
gosh, there is.
Janar will clock that Reshonai is in that mindset, and he'll prepare to pick up the young lady. And We can.
I don't know that she'll need that. I think she's ready to go.
Oh, is
With
she?
that-
Okay. Is he the only
with
one
that-
that's like we have to?
With that 9 Aldevar, it is you obviously can find the best path to get this out, but not in the time frame that has been imposed on you by this approaching Highstorm. And you're like, if only we had more time. And you just turn to I assume Aldevar. Maybe this is out of character. I apologize, but just being like, I'm sorry. I don't think there's anything more that we can do before the Highstorm gets here. So it's either we leave now or we lose our lives.
Mhm. I think maybe I'll propose it like we can save the 2 of you and your Chull, or we can save only the 2 of you.
Yes. And Drynin.
I am just gonna pull my hammer out and break whatever is holding the Chal in. I'm just gonna smash the supports, and then I'm just gonna grab.
The troll will be fine.
Yeah,
we'll be
technically.
fine.
Now that
Absolutely.
it's not held
Yep.
back, it'll be fine. It can pull itself in its legs, not hurt. I'm just gonna run around the back, pick up something,
Yep.
and
Oh yeah,
race
Reshonai
after.
doesn't care.
Yeah,
she's
Reshonai
just
can
gonna-
grab the guy.
She's gonna.
I'm just gonna pick
with-
up something
Yeah.
for him so he doesn't lose everything he's got.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna pick up. I don't know what it is, but anything from the back,
Yeah.
so he feels like he didn't lose everything.
In
As
dull
it-
form, she's in a form very similar to work form. So she has strength, and she has carapace along her shoulders and back, and she will just around the middle try to pick up this Vaden man and throw him over her shoulder, and just start trudging back toward the crossroads.
Yep. As you pick up Rebin, Reshonai, he dejectedly goes, "My possessions, my life, my storms, Stormfather, why have you forsaken me?" As he's just crying and weeping into his hands as you pick him up, running.
Can I make one last roll before we jump out of this? As he says that line about Stormfather, why have you forsaken me, and hearing the lines about like that this is a herald and whatnot, Janar, as everyone's like getting ready to pack up and run off, he like pauses for a minute and just wants to look in the direction of the storm and maybe roll a perception check with a raised stakes with the plot die to see if maybe he sees anything in the storm.
With and you're saying with the religious experience that you've had with Talon, and you're like,
With the whole like, I think he's just like, he's in this weird place where like strange things are happening that would hint at a desolation. Is there, he's
Okay.
I don't know. He's looking for something abnormal. That's what I would say perception is, just because it's like, is there something strange about the storm?
yeah, I'll allow it.
And the only reason I say plot dice is like in case there is like a plot thing that could happen.
I'll allow it, and I'll allow it with the plot die here.
Okay.
Let's have you roll as you look towards the storm before taking off again.
Okay.
Perception with the plot die.
It'd be such a great moment to get another complication.
24.
Ooh,
24.
you sure see that
But
storm?
no opportunity or complication.
Okay,
It's
so a
definitely
neutral plot die.
storm.
Having rolled a 19 on the die with a total of 24, Janar, your heart aches and you yearn to help. I wish you could have done more. You did everything you could. Everybody did here. It's just the way it happened. And you look towards the oncoming storm, still about 8 minutes away. And you just cast your mind and your thoughts towards the Stormfather. And you're like,
We keep failing. Like we're just so incapable in this
Mhm.
world.
Yeah.
it's just so hard sometimes. It's just so tough. But what you do pick up with the 24, and I will say in conjunction, since I didn't honor the opportunity for Drynin last time, this is a general opportunity I'm giving to the group then. This creme puddle you turn your head and you're like, wait a minute. We came on this road. There was no creme puddle. This road was clear. Why is this been planted here? And it's at that point you see individuals rising from the grass that has grown around them, covering them. As they move, the grass falls into the ground, exposing them as they have been laying in wait for the grass to grow all around them, obscuring them and giving them perfect stealth from anybody who would be looking. These, I believe, 4 individuals rising up and jumping towards your party as you flee to the Covenant Stone crossroads. We will have to see how this ambush shakes out on the next episode of Stonewalkers.
People be ambushing. People be ambushing.
It's so obvious in retrospect. The like a road shouldn't break down like this if it's a road. Like it's like a like. God, it's so good. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Also,
We do
like
happen to be on a battle
nothing like
grid.
entering combat after feeling really disappointed in your abilities.
Ooh, Ned, good point. We are on a battle grid, yes, for sure. Like,
There
That
are
might have been. That should have maybe been a
Ned's
clue.
Why is there
relationship with the camera.
a
He's
chill battle
constantly breaking
token
the fourth wall.
on top of the chill that is part of the illustration.
That is like I will say the endeavor of it all does kind of like force your brain into a video game mode almost.
Yeah.
Which for roleplay is somewhat distracting, but I do think is it's great. I'm excited. It's
very fun.
This was an excellent turn of events.
Excellent. Very fun. I'm really excited with this first endeavor. Although failure is hard, I think we found some really fun narrative ways to build off of that failure looking towards the storm and being like, it's so hard. Why? Why are we failing? And I really appreciate everybody, your characters internalizing that instead of just saying, crap, I didn't roll good. That's where I think this system was really going to shine as we play with all of the players here around the table. Which players, thank you so much for joining us. That is Christian, Ned, Josh, and Mickey. But listeners, thank you. And viewers, thank you for joining us on this episode of Stonewalkers. If you have been liking, please feel free to subscribe, like, and comment below on your favorite moment from this episode, what you would have done to help get the Chol or wagon out of this creme pit or creme pile, this trap. Before the ambush has happened. But of course, if you like our audio content as well, please leave us a 5-star review on the podcatcher of your choice. Shoot us an email at icastfireball2020@gmail.com or reach out on our socials at icastfireball20. If you want to engage with us in a greater capacity, more consistent capacity, you might consider joining our Patreon, patreon.com/icastfireball20, where if you join at our highest tier, as of right now, the $5 tier a month, we will give you access to our Discord channel where you can see all the spoilers and conspiracy theories for each season being discussed, where you can talk about who are these people ambushing? What's the deal with Tom? Is that Tom? Yeah, it's Tom. And we also have the $3 tier where you can see our bonus video content of warm-ups that we've done, but also our video actual play called Fizzband that we've done previously and are slowly releasing. But as always, we have a sister podcast, Improv Tabletop, where not only do they do actual play TTRPG podcast stuff and use a variety of systems that's not D&D, they've also got a Patreon with also bonus campaigns that they've got going on there where they dive in outside of Fate, outside of Avatar Legends, outside of Blades in the Dark, where they do Kids on Brooms, I believe, right?
We've
Where
done
we did
Kids
that.
on Brooms. We're doing Dungeon World currently. We've done Mouse Ritter in the past. Also Sanderson themed with our Miceboard campaign.
From Miceboard campaign. Go give them a listen. Don't forget to leave them a 5-star review on the way out. But lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and fellow Wacky Adventurers. But until next time, I'm Thomas, your GM, and around the table we have
Ned playing Aldevar Walde.
Christian playing Drynin.
I'm Mickey, and I play Reshonai.
And Joshua playing Janar Balar.
Let's brave the storms, everybody. Speak the ancient oaths, and we'll see you all next time.